do you have any friends from the minority?
Oh, hundreds.
Hello， 大家好，这是毛细网小侃间，我是 Grace，
我是 Mori。
今天是我们今年的第1期更新，会与以往的视频都有一些不一样。那么熟悉我们频道的观众都知道，我们的游戏中经常会高频的出现各种各样的英语单词。那么今天我们就来盘点一下，在谈论性少数时会经常出现的那些单词吧。
我们经常会说到 LGBT， 但是 LGBT 的完整词条是什么呢？有一种比较主流的说法是 LGBTQIA+。那 LG 大家都很熟悉了，就是我们的
Lesbian and Gay。B
就是双性恋
Bisexual。T
是跨性别
Transgender。
那 QIA+ 是什么？我们待会儿的视频会慢慢给大家解释。可见 LGBTQIA+ 是一个包含了性别和性取向的多维度概念。
中文里的性别在英语语境中其实分为了生理性别 sex 以及社会性别 gender 两个概念。
Sex 是一个人的生理性别，也就是他与生俱来的身体的客观属性。那 sex 当然还有另一个意思，就是当我们说 I have sex with someone， 它的意思是
搞了一下，
获得了一些生理上的愉悦。当然我们也可以说 I made love with someone， 代表你和这个人也搞了一下，但是
浓情蜜意的搞了一下。
那我们再来谈论一下 gender。Gender 是一个人的社会性别，代表了一个人在社会中对自己性别角色的认知，它是可以被后天的环境影响和塑造的。
我们大部分人对自己的社会性别认同是与我们的生理性别一致的，那么这个时候我们会称自己为顺性别者，也就是 cisgender。那么像我们两个对自己认同就是顺性别女性 cis female。那么还有一小部分人，他们对自己的社会性别认同是与自己的生理性别不一致的，那么这个时候我们就会称他们为 transgender 跨性别者。
主流社会往往期待一个生理性别为男性的人拥有男子气概，也就是 masculinity， 期待一个生理性别为女性的人拥有阴柔气质，也就是 femininity。
当然在毛细网小侃间看来，你身上的任何特质与你的 sex 和 gender 都可以没有任何的关系。
那么说到这里，我们就引入到了一个概念，性别二元论
Gender binary。
传统的二元论认为，无论是人的生理性别还是社会性别，都应该分为男性和女性两种属性。无论是你的言行举止、行为气质还是社会分工，都应该遵守这种分类原则。
那么与之相对的，也是我们两个更为支持的一种理论，是性别非二元论
Non-binary。
我们之前的很多玩家也有提到过这个概念。那么性别非二元论认为人的性别不只有男与女两种，人的性别认同更像是一条光谱 spectrum， 你可以落在这条光谱上的任意位置。
那说到这里，我想说一下 intersex 间性人或双性人。有些人出生时的性染色体就不是 XX 或者 XY， 或者他们的生理特征和传统男性或女性不同，那我们会称呼它为 intersex， 也就是 LGBTQIA 里面的 I。
那么最后一个字母 A， 它的其中一个释义是 agender 无性别者，那这也是在 non-binary 非二元论下面所衍生出来的一个新的概念。当然 binary 和 non-binary 是性别研究里面的两种不同的理论和立场。那么在我们看来呢，他们其实是没有孰对孰错和高下之分的，每一个人都可以有自己的思考、理解以及判断。
有多元的性别就有多元的性别称谓。上过小学英语的人应该都知道，当我们想用第三人称来称呼一位男士的时候，我们应该用
he, him, his。
当我们想用第三人称来称呼一位女士的时候，我们应该用
she, her, hers。
当我们不想让人称代词有性别属性的时候，我们应该用
they, them, theirs。
之前我参加过一个多边恋爱关系线下讨论小组，小组里有各种各样不同性别认同的人，大家在介绍自己的时候会用各种不同的 pronoun 来称呼自己。所以我在介绍自己的时候会说 Hi, I'm Mori, pronoun she。 但是也有人会说 Hi, my name is Alex, pronoun they。
那么很多时候，哪怕不是在性少数的讨论语境中，当我们不确定一个人的性别的时候，也可以使用 they 来表示尊重。
说完性别，我们再来聊一聊性取向
Sexual orientation。
那在我们的主流世界中，最主流的性取向当然是异性恋
Heterosexual。
那在性少数的语境里，最广为人知的当然是 gay 和 lesbian。 那再小众一点的性向呢，就是双性恋和泛性恋 bisexual 和 pansexual。在很多年前，我所理解的双性恋是可以被男生和女生两种性别的人所吸引，但是后来一旦接触了 non-binary 这个设定，我才了解到双性恋原来是可以被两种甚至两种以上的性别所吸引，不仅局限于男性和女性。
那么泛性恋者与双性恋者的区别在于，他们对人产生爱慕情绪或者身体冲动的时候，与这个人的性别是没有关系的。
那更多关于双性恋和泛性恋的讨论，可以看我们的这期视频哦。
那么接下来还有更为小众的性取向，比如说 asexual 无性恋，那么它也是 LGBTQIA 里面 A 的另外一个释义。那么无性恋者简单来说就是那些对没有兴趣的人，但是他们是可以与人建立浪漫关系并产生情感连接的。
那还有另外一种容易混淆的概念，无浪漫倾向 aromantic。
那无浪漫倾向者呢，是不会对任何人产生爱情，并不会与人建立浪漫关系的。
那最后，我们想再说一个我们都非常喜欢的概念 queer，
酷儿，
这也就是 LGBTQIA 里面的 Q。酷儿的核心思想呢，就是不贴标签，不设限。
那么无论是在性别还是性取向的认同上，我们每一个人都可以是一个独一无二的 queer。
性别和性取向其实是一整个宇宙，我们只能列举一些我们所熟悉的概念。
其实这些概念在学界和社会上都还存在争议，很多都还没有一个固定的释义。很多概念之间是有互相重叠和互相补充的，并不是非此即彼。关于性少数群体的语汇是在不断扩充、发展和进步的。
我们今天所讨论的这些概念和词语，并不是用来局限你的，相反的，它可以帮你更好地认识你自己。
那么作为中文平台上的 LGBT UP 主，我们也很好奇，在我们现在所生活的英语社会中，人们对于 LGBT 的认知和了解是怎样的一种情况呢？
那今天这期视频呢，我们有幸得到了 Cambly 的赞助和支持。Cambly 是一个可以和世界各地的外教在线练习英语口语的网站。你可以在主页上浏览不同的外教，还可以搜索你想要的关键词。点进外教的主页，有他们的自我介绍视频和详尽的个人资料。于是我们打开了机达，预约了几位有眼缘的外教，开始了和他们关于性少数的对话。So my name is Maury, and this is my girlfriend Grace.
We are now running a video channel together. Our content focus on LGBTQ community. Today we would like to have a brief conversation with you on some related topics.
So I grew up in London. My culture is English culture. And yes, I think in the UK everyone knows what LGBTQ plus is. People might, not everyone will like it, I think, unfortunately.
Do you have any friends from the minority?
Oh, hundreds. I live in Portugal. Everyone I live with and loads of my friends are from the queer community. I think everyone kind of is.
Yeah.
It's queer,
kind
it's
of a very umbrella term.
Exactly. Because it just means not the white, heteronormative, patriarchal. I think you and me, by that standard, are not.
I think it's really differing amongst different generations or ages of people, or people that are around my age. People are really well informed because of our access to the internet that we have had for most of our life. I have a friend group that is mostly queer, including myself. I think most of my friends are very up to date with different terminology, whereas older generations tend to be more conservative. They either don't know at all or they choose not to understand. Except for people like older LGBTQIA individuals, I feel like older people who are in the queer community were really the people who were fighting for rights in the United States. They did so much for younger queer people.
I used to live in a town in the US that was really liberal and very open-minded, but it was also kind of a bubble. So everybody within that city, they knew all of the letters and it was very accepting of everyone. I live in Cambodia now. Living here, I've been able to be very open about my relationship and everything, so that's been really amazing. But also, sometimes certain people don't really understand, or maybe they think
I totally understand.
We're really good friends.
So I'm Zimbabwean, but I've lived in South Africa for most of my life. In my home country, obviously the younger generation, they know a little bit more, but I think it's still very taboo, so something that not many people talk about or understand.
Do you know the Netflix series Sex Education?
Yes.
There's a character called Eric, and then I think his family originally comes from Nigeria. There's a section showing the experience that he was back in his hometown.
When he went back.
And then they do have some gay bars, and they do have a very small group, but in the general public, they're quite invisible. So I'm wondering, is it very similar in your home country, or would it be a bit worse? How would people see the non-heterosexual relationship?
In Zimbabwe as well, it's much smaller than Nigeria, so I think it's probably a bit worse. It's more secretive as well. It's not very safe for them. They still, would face a lot of discrimination and, harassment for it.
So it's impossible for a person to be openly gay there, right?
Yes. When I was living in South Africa, my neighbor, he lived alone and, his parents had helped him move to South Africa because he was gay. It's easier to be part of the community in South Africa than it is in Zimbabwe. So usually, supportive parents help move their children to South Africa where they can be a bit more safe.
This person is amazing. They're a very famous activist and writer. And if you can see them on any social media platform, I think. Their pronouns are they, as well, they. And everything they say is just beautiful and so accurate and so clear as well. There are some famous academics. Jordan Peterson. This is not a supporter of the queer community. In fact, he's quite anti-non-binary and anti-trans. But he has a very big following. A lot of straight white men like Jordan Peterson. Me and my boyfriend, we were saying we would love Alok Vaidmenon to have a debate with Jordan Peterson because he's so intelligent and so clear and every question that he can answer.
I'm so horrible with names, but Sarah Paulson, I think she's hilarious and I really like her. She was in American Horror Story.
I really like Matt Damon.
Is he a gay?
I think so, yeah, actually.
Is it?
Let me look up his face just to make sure that I'm not mixing him up with someone else. Oh no, not him. Bulmer? Yes, Matt Bulmer. Also, I really like Kehlani. She's pretty big in the LGBTQ like pop community for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, Whitney Houston. There's one.
Oh, Whitney Houston. Okay.
I think particularly here in the Czech Republic, it's a post-communist country, but it is one of the most liberal countries that had that shared past. Although it's same-sex marriage isn't legalised here, it is being spoken about in the government. It's something that's on the agenda.
The UK, yes. I think in most of Europe, yeah, it was legal to be gay in Portugal since 1982, because I know in like the UK it was like 1915. I want to say, I'm not sure. But the actual marriage is 2010.
2010.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that gay marriage was legalized at a federal level, but it does depend on the state whether or not the people who live there, if they want to, for example, there's certain people like a minister or a priest or just someone who does marriages, they still have the right to choose whether or not they want to help these people get married.
Particularly Western attitudes to kind of relationships and dating and sex have all changed dramatically since the sexual revolution in the 1960s.
In the UK, for example, we have lots of different religions. There is not one like dominant religion anymore. Generally, I think there is a trend that people don't get married as much now, or definitely get married later. Dating is really common, like people date a lot, they have a lot of more casual sex. I think a lot of people would believe I have to be with someone for a while before I would marry them. I don't really believe much in the institution of marriage, like the legality of it, I think it's kind of a bit pointless in a way. And a bit old-fashioned, but I also see the beauty in it. I think it can be a really beautiful thing. But then if you maybe are in the LGBTQ community, I think it's quite a symbolic moment as well. Like, this wasn't allowed, and now it is, and I want to show that.
For younger people in my age group, we don't take monogamy as seriously. Like, I would guesstimate like 75% of my friends are in non-monogamous relationships.
Oh, really? So you describe them as polyamory, right?
Yeah, polyamory. So this is in conjunction with more people identifying as queer and looking to have different types of relationships with people.
和这么多外教聊完，我们感到很惊喜。其实在选人的时候，我们并没有特地在 LGBT friendly 的关键词条下挑选，一聊才知道有这么多人的自我认同都是 queer， 并且对性少数的了解相当深入。
你最喜欢的外教是哪一位呢？欢迎把答案打在公屏上。如果你也想和 Cambly 的外教聊你感兴趣的内容，提升口语表达，现在就去注册 Cambly 吧。注册时使用我们的推荐码，就可以得到免费的15分钟课时体验哦。
作为一名小鸡仔，我们一定要努力学好英语，为自己争取更多的机会，看到更广阔的世界。
那我们下期再见，拜拜。